Greetings hobbyists, this is Artisans of Wool, and in this video we're going to have a look at how we can add a beaten brass texture to our 3D designs. So beaten brass is one of those classic miniature textures, with it being used for a range of models, and it's a nice trick to have in your pocket. So let's have a look at how we're going to do this, but this actually works for pretty much most textures you're going to want to do. It's just we can do this entirely natively within Blender without having to bring in anything external at all. Let's just delete out this cube. And we're going to be making a shield, let's say, for example. So I'm just going to bring in a mesh and we'll bring in a cylinder, really up that edge count to, let's say, 256. And then I'm just going to scale this up and Shift and Z to do it anything but the Z axis. So we'll have this as our shield. We probably actually could just G and Z that down a little bit so it's a little bit thinner. Then I'm going to Shift and A and bring in a quad sphere. You can either do that with quad sphere if you've got machine tools, or you could bring in a rounded cube. Either one is going to work fine. For the rounded cube, you're just going to need to activate extra mesh objects in your add-ons. Let's just up the amount of arc so it's nice and smooth, though we'll have to add more to this anyway. Then I'm just going to S to scale it up a little bit, and then S and Shift and Z to scale everything, but not on the Z axis, so we've got this slightly rounded shape to make the face of our shield. Now, this is going to go too far through the other side, so we're probably going to cut a bit of this off, and in fact actually I probably want to G and Z that down just a little bit to about there, just to make a nicer curved surface. So let's just get rid of the bottom. What I'm going to do is select this one, Shift and D, Z, and then just come down to here, and then we'll just remove that. So I'm going to click on this, Shift click on that, and Control and minus to boolean that out, and that's using Ball Tools, which comes with Blender. That's H to hide that. Now, the important bit here is we're going to do this by adding a displacement modifier. So let's come here, we've got our boolean already, and I'm just going to come and type in displacement, and we'll add in our displacement modifier. Now at the moment you'll notice that made everything bigger because we're just displacing it by 1 in all directions. I'll put that up to 1 just so you can see what this is going to look like initially, because it's going to be a mess. What we're going to want to do is come down and select a new texture. So let's click new, and then we don't have much going on. But we can come here to our texture properties to start changing this around. Alternatively, you can actually just click here as well, and that'll bring you to exactly the same place. And at the moment, our preview is, well, nothing. It's not got anything there. Now, this, if you're wanting to add in some sort of alpha texture or something from a picture, this is where you do it. But we don't need to. We're going to come to type. And for our beaten brass, we want a Voronoi texture. Gives a really good look, and yes, I appreciate this looks like a mess, but it looks like a mess for a couple of reasons. Firstly, if I hit N at the moment, let's come all the way up to where our item is, we've got this scaled, and our scale is totally out of sync. So we're going to need to Control and A and press scale, and suddenly this is starting to look a little bit better, if not really like beaten brass right this second. The next thing is that we need to add more subdivisions so that this will gain that texture. Now there's two ways to do this. The first is that I could just go into vertex mode, A, Control and E, and I could subdivide this. And we can up that a little bit. I'll do that once just to demonstrate that this gets better in terms of texture, and then go back into object mode, and you can see the texture is now a little bit more defined. But if you want to be able to edit and modify this, what we can do is come to our modifier panel, and I'm just going to Shift and A, type in subdivision, and bring in a subdivision surface. Now this is not going to work very nicely because at the moment, and this is why I've done this, it is underneath, let's just isolate, it is underneath the texture, but also importantly it's underneath this boolean, and the boolean cuts everything off and makes things into an engon. Let's just hide both of these, and we can see this here. So you can see this big surface here that is an engon, and that causes us problems because our boolean doesn't like it. So what we're going to do is just bring our subdivision up to the top. If you're not using modifier list, you can just drag it, and then we can make these visible, and it's going to cause a lot less problems because it's not trying to deal with this boolean. Let's just / so that we've got everything back, and you can see we've got this texture. Now at the moment we're going to have to up our subdivision, so let's just get that a little bit higher and a little bit higher, and this texture is not looking great. It's far too fine and it's far too extreme. So let's look at how we deal with this. If we come to our displacement modifier, and I just drag this out, we've got something for strength, and that tells us how high everything's going to go. If I bring this down slightly, let's say to 0.5, this is going to half the height of everything. And you can sort of start to see the shapes that we're going for. We've got lots of rounded shapes that have been indented. Now what we need to do is make these indents bigger, and to do that we do in the texture properties, and we affect that by using the size. Let's put that up to 0.5. This should double everything. So there we go. You can see this is starting to look a bit better, but for a miniature this is probably going to be a bit too small for us to make out, though in reality this is probably about the right size for hammer hits. So let's try 0.75, see how that looks. And that's looking probably a bit better. Maybe we could go to 0.9. And it's just a matter of playing around with the texture that you want. Okay, I'm probably quite happy with that. I still think that this is probably a little bit too extreme in terms of some of the impacts, like how deep they're going. So I'm just going to come back to here and change the strength to maybe 0.3, something like that. Yeah, and that's looking much better. Now, if we just isolate this, I've got this going on basically every single one of these surfaces. Now, we can actually control this much more. Here, this isn't really needed, but I just want to demonstrate it. If I just tab into face mode, what I could do is come into side view, go into X-ray, and I'm just going to select all of the faces that are on the top, something around there. Then, what we can do to control this is tell the texture to only work on the bits that we've got selected. To do that, we have to set this up as a vertex group. So if you come to Object Data Properties, which is down here, we can add a vertex group. Let's click plus to create this. We can rename it if we want to, so I'm just going to double click on it, and I'll call this texture. And then we need to, importantly, click Assign. And that then tells Blender to assign it to all of the vertices that are included here for the faces we've selected. Now I always recommend clicking deselect and then select again to double check that this is working. Now to be clear about this, let's just come back into object mode. My computer is definitely lagging a little bit when doing this. And that is because, if we come back to our modifiers, this subdivision combined with the Boolean is slowing everything down. You can see here, I've set this up to have the calculation times here, and we can see that this subdivision and the Boolean is causing some issues. So if you are getting a bit bored of this and you know that that's the texture that you want, you're perfectly happy with this, I'm going to come to this subdivision and I'm going to apply it. Now we can also apply this Boolean if we want to. So let's just do that. We're perfectly happy with this at this point, and that's just going to speed everything up for me to demonstrate. But it's not always the best to go destructive. Sometimes though, you know, it doesn't matter. And bear in mind we're about to apply this texture to only certain vertices. That's not going to be a problem. So we've got displace here, and we've got down here vertex group. I'm just going to click on here, and I've got the option for texture because we named this vertex group texture. If I called this something else, like fish, it could literally be anything, and come back to our texture now, we've got the option fish. So when I click that, notice suddenly it's only working on the areas that we had selected. So this is quite useful if you wanted to make a base and you wanted to do this for the texture on your base. Let's say you wanted to use one of the other textures here, like not Voronoi, you wanted to use like Musgrave or something like that. This will allow you to control it going only up to certain edges. And you've got some really interesting options here if you want just like some mud or something like that, or marble gives you some sort of weird looks. Maybe if you were doing something for a large field, this looks quite like ploughed fields. Anyway, let's go back to our Voronoi, which I think works very well for our brass texture, and then we're pretty good to go here. Let's just / out of this, and you can see we've got our brass texture. Now at this point, we can still start affecting things if we want to. If we think that we need this to be larger or smaller, I could maybe down this to 0.8 if I wanted to, give it a little bit more texture, and I could come back here and we can change the strength. Let's go to 0.2 if we wanted to. So this all works. Now the last thing that I'm going to try and do is have a look at this and realize actually this isn't quite what I need it to be. If you have a look at a brass texture or a beaten brass texture, it doesn't have these really harsh lines around it. Because of the way that brass bends, it's generally a bit more rounded than this. So we can actually do something with this to try and round it out a little bit more. What I'm going to do is Shift A and I'm going to type in smooth. And you'll notice this slightly smooths off these rounded points. If I turn that off and on, you can see it's slightly working out. But if I up it a bit more, you can see we really start to smooth out these sharper points. So this smooth option is very, very nice for just correcting that slight imperfection, and you can play around with this factor but don't go too far, though if you were trying to do mud cracks this could be quite good for it. So let's go to somewhere sort of around there. That's looking quite nice. And if at any point I need this to be smoother, I can go into face mode and then A, Control and E, and maybe subdivide it once more. Do note the more you subdivide it, or the more you use the subdivision surface, the slower this is going to get for your computer, but the nicer this is going to look. And again, we could up this factor a bit, sort of smooth it off. So there we go. That is our beaten brass texture. Go and have a play. As always, I'll put this file up. As always, I'll put this file at this point up on the Patreon so you can have a play with the settings that I've already got on here. But I think it's pretty simple to recreate should you want to. And that's what's nice about this technique. Once you know how to do it, it's very easy to do. If you found this video worthy, I'd really appreciate you hitting that like button, and I hope to see you in the next one. Have a great day, guys.